Bore da Croeso i Swansea and welcome to FIFA 22. Today I'm excited to share a season with you where we're going to be trying to rebuild Swansea in the Premier League as cheaply as possible. If we can stay up, we'll be playing FIFA 23 all the way to FC 26 when it releases. We already played a season with Swansea on FIFA 21, so we kind of know who to trust, but when you combine the step up to the Premier League with the real life transfers, we've got a massive challenge just to avoid relegation. So why would I be excited to play as Swansea? You probably can't tell from looking at the team, but we actually have really big plans. With the real life transfers giving us a bunch of changes, we should probably look through who's actually left at the club. Sadly, over the summer, the club has let Connor Roberts move to Burnley and Jamal Lowe leave for Bournemouth. But to replace them, we've also signed Obafemi from Southampton, Perot from PSV, Patterson and Walsh from Bristol City, and Uncham came in from Celtic. That actually leaves our squad looking pretty average for the Premier League, so we better make some signings. First up, we needed a striker, and after last season there was only one guy that we wanted. The rumours were that Gyökeres was about to head to Coventry, but they would only offer 1 million, we offered 4.3, so thankfully he moved to Wales instead of the Midlands. Mark Gay also rejoined Swansea in a loan to buy with a reported fee of 22 million after the Swans beat Palace's 18 million bid. If Swansea do stay up, he'll become the most expensive player in Swansea history. Conor Gallagher also chose us over Palace on loan. Swansea had him on loan in FIFA 20 and he's our new best player as he returns to Wales. Morgan Gibbs-White, however, didn't quite fancy rejoining us from Wolves. With only Sheffield United interested in him, maybe he can be one for later in the window. So, with our new signings in, let's set up the tactic and play a pre-season game while we talk about our objectives for the next year. Well, last year we wanted the playoffs, but we got automatic promotion, which was amazing. But now the squad is kind of in a tough spot. The board think it can finish mid-table, I'm thinking closer to 17th, but if pre-season is anything to go by, it's going to be a really tough year. After the first game ended, we decided to make some tweaks, and they were fully needed. And in the second game, things were actually a lot better. While we look at the footage of that, let's also talk about the record we're going to try and break this year. Back in 2011, Swansea opened the season with 6 clean sheets from 13 games. There was serious talk that they would have the most clean sheets by a promoted team ever, but they wouldn't actually go on to beat the record, which is still 15. Can we really break that record that is jointly held by Newcastle, Crystal Palace and Fulham? We really can't afford to make any mistakes if we are going to break that record, especially with the quality some of these Premier League clubs have. Our first game of the season was also against Arsenal, so does it really get much harder than that? I can't see us getting the clean sheet, but who knows, maybe Wayne Hennessy can perform a miracle and we can get maybe a point. Are we nervous going into the season? Well, kind of, to be honest. FIFA 22 gameplay is a little bit different to FIFA 21. Better news is that a lot of the teams in the division this year are actually kind of bad, so there's a decent chance we can avoid relegation. Good turn from Perot. Can we get away from Odegaard? We can. Bit of space for, is that Grimes bursting from midfield, and Ramsdale forced into a pretty decent save. And Perot from the corner, we're ahead! Out of absolutely nowhere. I was not expecting us to go ahead against Arsenal, but somehow we have done it. That is a brilliant header from the corner from Joel Perot. Maybe Perot will actually go on to be the better striker out of the Gyökeres combination. Odegaard into the box. We can't block it, but Cabango does. And then Gahey blocks the Saka effort. We are really holding on before half-time. Saka down the right. I think that's Aspas. Oh, that is a horrific save from Hennessy. And Makis is there just to tap it in just before half-time. Oh, that is such a shame. But you can't say Arsenal didn't deserve it. Their XG of nearly 4, resulting in just 1 goal. Xhaka with the bicycle, that would have been unreal, but Hennessy's on top of it again. Christie gets it back out to Xhaka. Thomas, Partey, Makis. Can we block any shots that come in? Pepe, Lacazette. Good stop from Hennessy. Odegaard. And Gahey's there. Can we clear this? Holding and Cabango and Ben White. Everyone's getting involved. Holding again to Makis. And Hennessy this time with a brilliant save. That's about his 5th of the game. Grimes, can you get this away? We potentially could have a counter-attack on here. We've got Gyökeres and I think Perot's further up the pitch. There he is. And we've timed the pass perfect. This is it. This is the last chance of the game. They're catching us up, but Perot has to hit it. Probably not the right decision, but we didn't really have too many alternatives. And we don't intercept the pass, so we're actually going to get a 1-1 draw against Arsenal on the first day of the season. Hennessy with a 10 out of 10, Perot with a 9 out of 10. We probably are going to be relying on those two to be performing like that if we do ever want to win a game. So I guess technically we are first in the Premier League, but after everyone else plays, we drop down to 12th. which really isn't too bad. Especially when our next game's against Crystal Palace, who have a very good team with Elise and Eze and Zaha on the bench and Benteke, but there's no reason we can't get another draw and maybe keep the unbeaten streak going. Manning, down the left, into Gyökeres. We've got Wolf playing attacking midfielder. Gyökeres into the box, and if he'd hit it a bit more to the right, there was a pretty good chance that would have gone in, I think. Coman, it's not Kingsley Coman, I don't think. Eze, and MacArthur smashes it in, but I think he was miles offside. Yeah, thank God for that. We want to keep this clean sheet if that's all we do in this game. Manning to Wolf, into Perrault, and Gallagher's overlapping. Come on, hit it, and the man that chose us over Crystal Palace has scored against them. What a good bit of play that was, overlapping from midfield, exactly why we signed Gallagher. That is a beautiful goal. Manning to Perrault, but Mitchell wins the header. Grimes and Wolf recycle it, back out to Manning, and it's going to fall to Gyökeres, and he can't shoot. Goalkeeper dives on the ball instead, but that could easily have been a good chance. And we've rolled it straight to Manning. Let's just hit it. Okay, we were expecting a little bit more when we pressed finesse shot there. Klein has just bullied Manning. It's about 10 minutes to go. MacArthur, Schlupp, Mateta off the bench. Great interception from our attacking midfielder, but he gives it to Eze, and then a block from Wolf. MacArthur and Schlupp. This is really dangerous stuff, but Hennessy's the man. Absolutely beautiful. Come on, defend the corner. Schlupp forces a brilliant save. That was like Gordon Banks, that was. Absolutely unreal. Wolf trying to run down the left, and Gyökeres is beating Kiati. Cheku Kiati doesn't have the pace to get back. Oh, but Mitchell just about does, stopping us getting a second goal. And that was not the best pass, but we'll probably take it. That might run down the clock a little bit. Elise turns, gives it to Mateta, and that, my friends, is a clean sheet. Well, I was not expecting a win and a clean sheet in our second game. I know things will only get tougher from now on, but it's also deadline day, so why not see if we can find someone who can both play make and defend for that attacking mid spot. The window is actually quite dead this year. Koulibaly, Neves and Pau Torres are the only three to have moved for over £60 million. But going back to Swansea, I know just the guy for this attacking mid position. Morgan Gibbs-White. He was on loan with us last year on FIFA 21 and surely he wants to return. Well, no. It is a deadline day decline, and I guess he'd rather just stay in the Wolves reserves. The clock keeps ticking down, we get a pretty pointless bid in for Bennett that we ignore, and with 2 hours left, we make our final move. There's this really low rated attacking midfielder who plays for Man City reserves, so surely he can't turn us down. I think his name was Cole Palmer, so we agree a deal and we wait. But guess what? Even this total nobody doesn't want to move to Wales, and with that, the window slams shut. I've got to say, after 3 games, and even after 6 games, things are probably going better than we would have expected. If we can win against West Ham, then we actually go into the top half of the table, which is pretty damn good for a team that's probably the second worst in the division after Cardiff. Oh, that is absolutely amazing from Gehi, getting it back to the goalkeeper, stopping a pretty certain goal, I'd say. Bowen into Ben Rama, and that's a really committed header from Rodon, diving in where the boots are flying. And West Ham coming down the left, Rice into Souček. Oh, 1-0 down, there goes the clean sheet. But can we get back into the game? Bowen into Kalajdzic, and Ben Rama gets his shot deflected. Rice recycles it to Souček again, and the rebound there could have gone absolutely anywhere. Grimes, and we've got Gyökeres. Can he turn on the afterburners? Look at that pace. He has absolutely done Kufal. He tried to dive in. Oh, the shot's awful, but Perrault is there again. That is really good positioning to be there for the rebound. And 2 goals in 6 games. If he can keep this up, he's probably getting between 10 and 15 for the season. Gotta say, under 30% possession is pretty embarrassing. Rice to Souček, to Kalajdzic, to Bowen. Hennessy yet again with a brilliant save. Grimes, Gyökeres, we got Gallagher. We tried to hit it. I think we actually knocked Diop over right there. Rice into Kalajdzic. Hennessy yet again. Is he on track for another 10 out of 10 performance? Lanzini off the post. Christie, can he get away just about? Mark Gehi, we're going long here. Gyökeres, that's a good header to be fair. Gallagher into Perrault. Okay, we've got a bit of space to run into. He's not our fastest striker, but we've absolutely ruined Zuma. And then Diop, oh my god, how has that gone in? Deflected off the underneath of the thigh of Diop, and Perrault looks like he has won us the game. from Swansea to the Olympic Stadium in London. All of our fans will be going absolutely insane after that one, because that could be our second win of the season, and Swansea could be in the top half of the table. The second half was a bit better than the first when it comes to possession, but they still absolutely battered us. That was the flukiest win I think we're likely to get all season. So, after 7 games, we are in 14th, and after 10 games, we're in 17th. That's right, we lose 3 in a row, and things aren't actually looking too good. But if there's one match that could save our season, it's an almost guaranteed 3 points against the worst team in the division, Cardiff City. Last year's playoff winners, they didn't strengthen too much in the summer, and honestly, they are a big threat to that Derby 11-point record. Surely we have to win the South Wales Derby. Torre into midfield, Joe Ralls, and that's a decent ball actually, to be fair. Doyle is not actually able to complete the pass. Good interception from Manning. Cyrus Christie, he's been an underrated player this season so far. Good bit of skill into Ncham. That's Gyökeres, and we've got Manning out on the wing, and it's saved into the goal by Phillips. That is beautiful. The fullbacks both involved in the play. Manning with the finish, and we're 1-0 up against Cardiff. Torre into their striker Hugill. Good save from Hennessy. I think that's their first real attack of the game. Hennessy more than good enough to stop it though. Christie cuts inside. Gallagher gives it to Ncham. We have a bit of space, but that's a pretty bad tackle. I think it's not going to be a card though. Oh, it's a yellow. Can Grimes do anything from the free kick? He can hit it over the bar. I thought that was actually on target, to be fair. Doughty into Raguz. Into Rawls. Oh, he put it through Hennessy's leg, but he was offside. Thank God. This could potentially be another clean sheet. Hugill loses it to Christie. Grimes gives it to Perrault, and Gyökeres can attack here. Oh, he's in space. Surely he's been absolutely taken down, but the referee is not having any of it. How can you say Perry and G won that ball, man? Harris goes for a long shot. Hennessy saving that all day long. Keep them there, Cardiff. Come on, let's get that clean sheet. Harris to Cabango. Good interception. But can we counter-attack? Can we get the second goal that kills them off? Well, that's a brilliant turn from Gyökeres, and he's got space to run into. He's got Christie to pull it across to if he wants, but he shoots and he drags it wide. Not the best decision from Gyökeres. Really could have done with that goal. And Rodon gets tackled from behind, but Cardiff were not happy. We're absolutely delighted though. That's a 1-0 win and another clean sheet. So with things in the first third of the season going up and down, I thought it was time to strengthen for the second half of the season. And for the 4th time, we're actually going to ask Morgan Gibbs-White if he wants to come on loan. Again, we agreed a fee, but this time, he does actually agree to join us for 6 months from January. January also is only 1 match away, but that game is against probably the best Man City team that they have ever built. Forget a clean sheet, I'd be happy if this was under 5-0. Gallagher, good interception, but Mahrez slide tackles out to Foden, and that is on a postage stamp. That is top bins. That is just unreal. Hennessy catches the corner. We're going to just smash this long and hope that Perrault can get there, and he can. It's Jack Grealish who's defending, and I think Perrault's got away from him. Can we get the shot off? No, Grealish gets back. What the hell was that? Gallagher intercepted by De Bruyne, but Foden really didn't appreciate that. That is a horrible tackle, straight through the back of Gallagher. Wolf, out to Christie. Got Obafemi, we've got Gyökeres. Can we get the equaliser? We can't. Edison on top of his game. De Bruyne, and that is a perfect pass through to Raheem. We had no choice but to bring the goalkeeper out, and I don't think Rodon's going to close the angle. That is just an easy goal, and we're behind 2-0 now. Sterling to Grealish, to De Bruyne, to Grealish. And I think De Bruyne is back on. We can't get across to him. I think, if anything, Man City actually got better when they lost the man. And we're not going to have a chance to counter-attack. A 3-0 loss, not too bad. Especially when you look at the XG. 5.3. We had more of the ball than them, though, so that probably will annoy Pep Guardiola. So going into January, we are second bottom of the Premier League. Only Cardiff are below us, but there is quite a big gap to last place. Gibbs-White is now in the team, and as the snow falls in Wales, we now have to hope that the second half of the season is much better than the first. Is one new attacking midfielder enough to make that change? Well, I certainly hope so, and if we can get anything against Villa, that will be absolutely huge in this relegation battle. That was great from Gay. Bring it out from the back. Gallagher trying to get it into Perot, but Aston Villa, man, they must be the toughest game I've played on in FIFA 22 by far. Good ball from Christie, and Gyökeres is there to smash it on the volley. That was very similar to that famous Van Persie finish where he volleys the Rooney pass, but obviously not quite as good. Gyökeres, come on, space to run into. Can we make it 2-0? We're pulling it across to Perot. Martinez is there. Christie refuses to shoot. That was a golden opportunity to get the win. I'm not sure why Steven Gerrard's playing Douglas Luiz at front, but that was actually a really good pass from him. Cash over the bar. That was Foden. That would have gone top corner. Luca Dean. And we're trying to just cover him off with Cabango. I think we haven't done it. The Ukrainian guy gives it to Luiz, and that is why you play an actual striker up front. Coutinho back to Buendia. And his shot is saved by Hennessy. I think that's probably their last chance. Let's clear it off the pitch. Yes, a 1-0 win. And that changes everything. In fact, in the month of January, everything changed. In the month of February, things got even better. And by the start of March, we were playing Cardiff again with the chance to actually leapfrog up into 14th place. That one signing did actually change everything. In fact, I would go as far as to say if we can beat Cardiff today, then we're basically safe from relegation. That was such a dangerous challenge from Cardiff. And it's actually been given as a red card after just 15 minutes. Gallagher into Perot. Come on, Gibbs White. Let's find Gyökeres. There we go. That's why we brought them both in. The guy who can pass a ball. The guy who can make a run. And I think that's 5 goals and assists as the combination since we signed him in January. Brilliant from Gibbs White. Gets away from the Cardiff player. Gets the shot away. We wanted that to find the top corner so bad. Perry and G getting pressed by Gibbs White. That's what we got him in the team for, man. Nelson intercepted by Grimes. And surely this is a Perot goal. Hits it straight through the keeper. That's probably why they're bottom. They need a goalkeeper with hands. Can Gyökeres make it 3-0 before half-time? No, that's what his finishing's been like for a lot of the season. Ikpeazu out to Denham. And they've got someone in the middle, but I think that's the first real attack of Cardiff. And you can see why they're doing so badly. And we get Cabango across. Pat gets the shot away, but it was not really that dangerous of an effort, to be honest. And Gibbs White going for one more assist. Is Gyökeres going to finish Cardiff off? And he can. This time he gets the finish right. There's no dragging it to the side of the post. That one's a beauty, finding the side netting. So that's 3-0. And that's 3 points. We're getting actually fairly close to the record with just a few games to go. I think it's a good match to show Swansea City versus Liverpool in the FA Cup. But if we look at the table, you'll actually find we are now 6 points clear with just 10 games to go, which if we can get to 30, 35 points, we'll be pretty safe. And I think we can do it. So let's actually just focus on this FA Cup and see if we can go any further in the competition. Maybe into the quarterfinals or the semis. That would be absolutely unreal. Fekir to Diogo Jota. Fabinho. Jota trying to get it out to Trent, but oh, he has got there. And then Fekir's going to force a really good save there from Hennessy. Fekir dances around Gibbs White and Manning with the diving header. That was brilliant. Get the ball back out to Gibbs White. A lucky rebound, and Cyrus Christie might actually be able to spring a counter-attack here. Looks like he can. Gyökeres has got Perot, and Perot has beaten Van Dijk for pace. He's not getting anywhere near him, and he gets the finish right. 13 minutes, and this could be a massive cup upset. Fabinho, good back heel to Jota. He's going to sort of dance inside. Diaz with what a back heel that was. Is Fekir offside? It looks like he is. That would have been a really nice goal. I would not have complained about conceding that one. Salah back heels to Trent. Oh, that's a really good one too. This Liverpool team, man. Look, he's doing kick-ups off the pitch. They are so good. Grimes' pass is intercepted. Fekir flicked it by Jota and then volleyed in. That is an unreal goal all around. Liverpool so good this season. Good header from Gyökeres to beat Salah in the air. And it's gone to Gibbs White. All of a sudden, it's 3-on-2. We just about get the pass out, and Andy Robertson is nowhere. Suddenly, it's Trent against 3. And Gyökeres is just going to shoot. And he gets it right. Again, Gyökeres is finishing. And apparently his dancing, both improving a lot over the past couple of months. Good catch from Hennessy. Can we do another corner counter-attack? Let's give it a go. Grimes goes long to Perot. Flicks on. And Gyökeres. Surely we can't score 3 very similar goals. Oh, this time the finish isn't right. That could have killed off Liverpool. And we could have been in the quarterfinals. Mark Gahey. Look at the press. They're constantly pressing. When you have the ball, you can get out quite easy if you do a couple of quick passes. And that's exactly what's led to this chance. Gibbs-White shoots. Oh, that is the wrong decision from Gibbs-White, though. Luis Diaz passes it to Thiago. There's Fabinho. Fekir back to Fabinho. Can we kind of block these through ball passes? I know Salah's going to be dangerous, so we need to block him off. This is so patient from Liverpool. To Fekir. He gets the shot off, and Hennessy is the man yet again. Grimes. We've got 2-on-2 at the back again. It's Trent and Robbo versus Perot and Gibbs-White. And we absolutely do Trent. Surely that's a red card. Not even a yellow. That is a goal-scoring opportunity for sure. Oh, the free kick is awful. What the hell is the referee doing? Jota to Thiago to Jota. Back through to Luis Diaz. Come on. Get back Cabango. Get back Rodon. Oh, and there's a big gap for Thiago. He's lasered it along the floor. Proper daisy cutter. This is an all-time FA Cup match, man. This is what it's always like. Gibbs-White. Come on. Gets away from his man. Matip's nowhere. He can't finish. And Gyökeres doesn't get the rebound, but Gibbs-White does. Can we do anything? We can't. Thiago is back. Salah to Manning. Good interception. Gahey. Can we get this away? We can. And Grimes slides in, but Liverpool recover it. 5 minutes to hold on. And Fabinho gives it to Diaz. Good save from Hennessy. How many times have I said that this season, man? Diaz absolutely does us at the back there, but Robbo plays it back over to him. Off his head. And Gahey's the one to intercept it. It looks like this is going to extra time. No replays in the 6th round. So this one is going to extra time. Gallagher in midfield. We've got Christie overlapping, but we're not going to use him. We're going to use Gibbs-White instead. We've got Gyökeres. We've got Perot. Can we get the shot away? Oh, Alisson diving on the ball like it's a grenade. Manning into Gibbs-White. Gyökeres, surely this time. Oh, he's missed the target again. Come on, Gyökeres. Manning to Gyökeres. And we've got Michael Obafemi. He's got the pace to get away from Van Dijk. But he hasn't got the finish either. We are choking a potential quarter-final here. Obafemi, last attack. It's a bad pass. We can't do anything with it. And we're going to be doing penalties against one of the best penalty teams in the world. Unsham, good penalty. Top right. Alisson doesn't even dive. Fabinho. And Hennessy against one of the best penalty takers in history. Manning. Oh, it's the crossbar. We can't make the most of it. Minamino. And we dive the right way again. Hennessy, get in. Gyökeres. We go down the middle. And Alisson was expecting it. So if we save this, we're through. Diaz hits the crossbar. Out of absolutely nowhere. We got dominated by Liverpool, let's be honest. But we are through into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Indeed we are. And it wasn't just the quarterfinals. We also got through the semi-finals. And somehow, we are in the FA Cup final against Preston. Don't ask me how this has happened. We got really lucky on penalties. Preston also got quite lucky, it looks like, by beating Man United 3-1. And out of absolutely nowhere, a disastrous season, we have the chance to lift a trophy. Maybe we can be the second Welsh team after Cardiff to win the FA Cup. I don't know. This is going to be a tough game, even though Preston don't seem like they're that good. Gibbs-White. We're trying to do a classic corner counter-attack, but Perot's run was really delayed. Gyökeres to Perot. We've got Christie, and we see Gyökeres' run. Why not chip it through? And he's going to get there. Can he shoot? He can! We're ahead in the FA Cup final. 15 minutes in. Can we hold on? Gyökeres. He's got the pace to get away from the Preston defender. Can he oh, that last touch was so annoying. Iverson just about stopping the chance. Grimes to Gyökeres. We've got some space out here for Manning. So let's try and get it back post to Perot. He's going to win it, and it goes over the bar. Come on, we need this second goal. Emil Rees getting it out to Earl. And we've just taken him down there for no reason. Free kick. Barrow to Johnson. Oh, that is acrobatic from a 35-year-old. Whiteman into Chori. That's Emil Rees back to Chori. And there's a lot of space for Potts. And Johnson saved. And then Rodon blocks it on the line. And Cabango blocks it. 4 of our defence absolutely on top form right there. Johnson out to Earl. Come on, let's keep this clean sheet before half-time. Earl to Barrow to Chori. Back to Barrow. And he gets the finish right this time. To be honest, that looked like an easier one to stop than the one we saved. But at half-time, it's going to be 1-1. We dive in, but they just about get away from it. Christie can't win the ball. Chori, the big Czech striker, gives it back heel to Johnson. That was an insane pass. Johnson's been their man of the match by far. Nearly kills one top corner. We can't keep it in. Gibbs-White to Gyökeres to Pirot. We've got Christie out on the right. We've got Gibbs-White here. Let's just shoot. Come on, Gibbs-White. He is an absolute assist machine, but he can't shoot. So I guess FIFA 22 is quite realistic in that regard. Bauer to Earl. Back to Bauer. Back to Earl. He lets it run. Last attack of the game, probably. And Rodon heads it away. This one looks like it's going to extra time. Unless we can counter, we can't. Got a little bit excited there when I saw the run. Ledson to Bockhausen. Chori. Oh, that's great sweeper keeping from Hennessy. Not what you'd expect from him. Can we counter-attack though? Gallagher's got some space to run into. Can we get it through into Obafemi? We can. Can we do anything with this? That is a really strong tackle. And into the second half of extra time we go. Bauer. Come on, this is probably the last attack of regular time. And Emil Rees is through. Oh my god, I thought that was going straight in the far corner. Thank God they missed. Here's Emil Rees then. Steps up and misses altogether. Twice in 5 minutes. Frenchman and Cham with a really steady penalty there. If he dives, saved, but thankfully he didn't. Brown sends Hennessy the wrong way. Manning, come on. Scores. Oh, we need this. That's 2 in a row. Cameron Archer. Misses altogether. Oh my god. So if we save this, or if we score our next penalty, we are through. We have won. And Barkhausen saved. Hennessy guesses the right way. And Swansea City become the second team from outside of England to have won the FA Cup after Cardiff did it in 1927, 95 years ago. I was not expecting this. We had such a crazy run through. In fact, the only Premier League team we really played was Liverpool in the 6th round. And Uncham lifts the trophy. Not only have we won the FA Cup, but in the past couple of weeks, we have actually been on pretty good form in the Premier League too. And that sees us with 2 games left on 38 points. Leeds United can only catch us if they win both of theirs, which they don't. In fact, we finish on 42 points, which is well more than I was expecting when we had just 18 from the first 19 games. And we end the season with 11 clean sheets. Not quite the record, but still very, very good work. But that means we're going to be continuing this save onto FIFA 23. I have some really big plans for that game, so make sure you check that out when it comes out next Sunday, or become a channel member and you should be able to watch it right now. But thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.